स्पर्मेटोजोआ जिस प्रोसेस से बनते हैं, the process we call it as spermatogenesis, which takes place where inside the testis. Sperm को viable रखने के लिए, the organs which helps the sperm to remain viable, functional, those organs we call it as secondary sex. Meaning of andrology, the study of male reproductive system is called andrology. तो ये घर में पिताजी रात में 2-3 बार वो टॉयलेट के लिए जा रहे हैं, मिक्चुरेशन के लिए जा रहे हैं. That is going to give you one signal that might be this is the reason that prostatitis हो गया. Hello future doctors, मैं आपका उज्जवल सर. आज एक न्यू टॉपिक पुराने चैप्टर से, वो है टेस्टिस. टेस्टिस के बारे में आज बात करेंगे और यही टेस्टिस, द सेम टेस्टिस यू आर गोइंग टू स्टडी इन क्लास 12 इन द टॉपिक ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन. Yes my dear students, today's class is going to be very important. Why? Because human reproduction topic से 2 questions NEET में confirm होता है and normally it comes from the male reproductive system. So we are going to start with this topic, but before I start with this topic, I've seen in my comments that you want video on biological classification. Yes, I'm going to give you my word that after I complete this chapter, chemical coordination or integration, complete करने के बाद, I'm going to start with biological classification. Comment me if you require other chapters video. Comment me in the comment section. अच्छा लगता है जब आप कमेंट करते हो, अच्छा लगता है जब आप टेक पार्ट करते हो in the conversation. Yes, my dear students, let us start with the topic called testis. So when we talk about testis, testis is the male reproductive organ which we call it as a primary sex organ. So in male reproductive organ, there are 2 types of organ. One is primary sex organ and the one is secondary sex organ. Secondary sex organ. Now, in primary sex organ, which organ is called primary sex organ? So we are talking about the topic called testis. So testis is called as the primary sex organ. Now ये primary sex organ क्यों कहते हैं इसको? Because the main gamete, male में the main gamete is what? Sperm formation occurs inside the testis. And that is why this testis is called as a primary sex organ, because the main gamete क्या है? Male में main gamete है sperm और spermatozoa. So spermatozoa जिस process से बनते हैं, the process we call it as spermatogenesis, which takes place where inside the testis. So that is why testis is called as a primary sex organ. So secondary sex organ क्या है? Secondary sex organ टेस्टिस को छोड़ के, टेस्टिस के अंदर there are some structures which we call it as seminal vesicle. क्या नाम है? Seminal vesicle है, epididymis है, reproductive है, so prostate gland है, Bulbourethral gland है. So all other parts which are not concerned with formation of sperm. So sperm formation में जो directly help नहीं करते हैं, those come under secondary sex organ. In other words, sperm को viable रखने के लिए, the organs which helps the sperm to remain viable, functional, those organs we call it as secondary sex organs. तो ये secondary sex organ के development के लिए कौन सा हार्मोन हेल्प करते हैं? And the name of that hormone is what? Testosterone. Testosterone. So testosterone hormone जो एक एंड्रोजन हार्मोन है. What is andro? What is the meaning of andrology? The study of male reproductive system is called andrology. Female का आप जानते हो gynecology, but male है andrology. So androgens are different types of androgens are there. Different types of androgens are there. और these androgens, ये सब androgens कहाँ से रिलीज होते हैं? They get released from a type of cells between the seminiferous tubule. There are some special type of cells which acts as endocrine cells. Now ये endocrine cells का नाम है interstitial cells of leydigs. Interstitial cells of leydigs or Leydig cells. And these Leydig cells, they form androgens, and the best androgen that we know is जो common androgen है वो क्या है? That is testosterone. Testosterone. So we know about this, but I think ये testosterone के साथ there are some other hormones called androsterone. Androsteron. There are other hormones like epiandrosterone, and there is another hormone called dihydro and epiandrosterone. These are the 4 types of hormones which are androgens. And out of this androgen, the most common is testosterone. Now this testosterone, it helps in what? This testosterone hormone, it helps in spermatogenesis. Sperm formation के लिए ये help करता है. Also it helps in the development of secondary sex organ. Secondary sex organ के development में help करते हैं. Also it helps in the development of secondary sexual characteristics. Secondary sexual characteristics. Now what is the meaning of that? Secondary sexual characteristics क्या है? Normally we know that testosterone helps in, it is also called as maleness in male. It creates maleness in male. Now what is called maleness? The external changes that a male body gets due to hormone called testosterone. क्या है वो? Presence of beards and mustaches. Presence of hairs on chest, on armpits, axilla, pubic region is also done by testosterone. Low pitched voice, गले में change लाना, गला गंभीर हो जाना, वो भी testosterone का है, and that is called low pitched voice. Development of muscles, broad shoulder and narrow waist. ये भी किसका काम है? टेस्टोस्टेरोन का काम है. And then aggressive nature in male is also done by testosterone. So testosterone is very important type of hormone produced from interstitial cells of leydigs. And what are interstitial cells? अगर ये testis है, I'm going to show you some of the figure about testis. These are testicular compartment. Testicular compartment है, and the compartment contains what? Seminiferous tubule. Between two seminiferous tubule, there is a gap, and this gap between this and this, there's some gap, and this gap contains specialized cells called interstitial cells of leydigs. That means, अगर ये seminiferous tubule है, if this is seminiferous tubule, that means between two seminiferous tubule, what we can see, the specialized type of cells which are called Leydig cells. And these Leydig cells, they produces testosterone hormone. Okay, so this was about the basic idea about testes. Now just get this idea. This is the structure of the male reproductive system. This is the structure of the male reproductive system. In this diagram, let me show you. In this diagram, this is the side view of the testis. This is the scrotum. This is the scrotum. And inside the scrotum, the testis is present. Inside the scrotum, the testis is present. Now, this is testis, this is scrotum. And यहाँ पे जो मोटा layer है, this is about epididymis. And this epididymis is having 3 covering: caput, corpus and cauda. Okay? And the length, ये इतने highly coiled रहते हैं. These epididymis are highly coiled present. They are highly coiled, and the length of the epididymis is 6 meter. उसके बाद, this is vas deferens. Okay? And they ultimately joins with the three glands called prostate gland, Cowper's gland and prostate gland. Cowper's gland का और एक नाम है Bulbourethral gland, and they are also connected with the seminal vesicle. ये जो ऑर्गन है डेवलप होते हैं apart from the seminiferous tubules. These organs are developed by the help of testosterone. So this is the figure, fine, and this is the figure. Bulbourethral gland का function क्या है? Bulbourethral gland का function है secretion करना, so which can help the movement of the, it can help make the lubrication, it can help in lubrication. और prostate gland, now prostate gland एक ही gland है, there is only one prostate gland, और this prostate gland sometimes gets inflated. So यहां से क्या होता है, यहां से inflammation हो जाने से the prostate gland inflammation is called prostatitis. And इस prostatitis के बाद there is every chance that there is a prostate cancer. The possibility of prostate cancer increases. So my dear students, let me tell you, घर में आपके दादा हैं, घर में पिताजी हैं. So one thing I must tell you, प्रोस्टेटाइटिस, ये इंफ्लामेशन हो जाना ये नॉर्मल है. और ये नॉर्मल जब होता है सो क्या करना होता है, एक टेस्ट हर 6 महीने में, वन ऑफ द टेस्ट दैट यू हैव टू परफॉर्म टू सी, टू डिटेक्ट वेदर देयर हैज बीन प्रोस्टेट कैंसर और नॉट. और वो टेस्ट क्या है, PSA टेस्ट, प्रोस्टेट स्पेसिफिक एंटीजन. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वन मस्ट परफॉर्म. सो आप डॉक्टर बनने वाले हो पर घर में आप डेफिनेटली चाहते हो आपके पिताजी, आपके दादा आपके सक्सेस को देखें. माइंड यू, प्रोस्टेटाइटिस इज वेरी कॉमन एंड दैट इज व्हाई प्रोस्टेट कैंसर इज आल्सो इंडिया में बहुत ज्यादा परसेंटेज रहता है कैंसर में, प्रोस्टेट कैंसर इन मेल्स. दो दिस प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड इफ इट गेट्स इन्फ्लेटेड, क्या होगा, द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर इज कनेक्टेड विद द, ये इसका पास करता है थ्रू प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड, एंड प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड होल्ड्स द पर्टिकुलर डक्ट जो यूरिन वहां से आते हैं. सो इफ इट गेट्स इन्फ्लेटेड तो क्या होगा, यूरिन वॉइड कम होगा. सम ऑफ द यूरिन इज वुड रिमेन इनसाइड द यूरिनरी ब्लैडर. ये प्रॉब्लम रहता है. और अगर ऐसा होता है, आप देखोगे घर में पिताजी रात में 2-3 बार वो टॉयलेट के लिए जा रहे हैं, मिक्चुरेशन के लिए जा रहे हैं, that is going to give you one signal that might be this is the reason that prostatitis हो गया है. So what you have to do is go for ultrasonography of KUB ultrasonography कहते हैं. वो लोअर एब्डोमेन का अल्ट्रासोनोग्राफी करने से प्रोस्टेटाइटिस का प्रॉब्लम है कि नहीं वो डिटेक्ट कर सकते हो आप. फाइन. So let us come into the next slide. The next slide is about फीमेल. हम ओवरी के समय में देखेंगे, थोड़ा टेस्टिस का इनर स्ट्रक्चर हम दिखाना चाहते हैं आपको. लेट मी शो यू दिस. दिस इज ओवरी. ओवरी का भी हम देखेंगे बाद में. यस, दिस इज नो. सो देयर इज नो स्लाइड अबाउट दिस ओवरी. ओवरी का स्ट्रक्चर हम देखेंगे इन ड्यूरिंग ओवरी. नाउ लेट अस कम बैक टू योर एनसीईआरटी में चलो देख लेते हैं what information is being given about testis. What they have said, a pair of testis is present in scrotal sac outside abdomen of male. Testis performs dual functions as a primary sex organ as well as endocrine gland. Primary sex organ Q because this helps in spermatogenesis, and endocrine gland Q because it secretes some hormone. Testis is composed of seminiferous tubules and stromal or interstitial tissue. The leydig cells or interstitial cells which are present in the intertubular spaces produce a group of hormones called androgens. और androgens में mainly क्या है, testosterone. So what we have talked about, apart from testosterone or functions or hormones आपको अभी दिखाया गया है. Androgens regulate the development, maturation and functions of male accessory sex organs like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, urethra. These hormones stimulate muscular growth of facial and axillary hair. ये सब क्या है, aggressiveness, low pitch voice, ये सब अभी आपको बोला गया क्या था, these are secondary sexual characteristics. Androgens plays a major stimulatory role in the process of spermatogenesis. Androgens spermatogenesis में help करते हैं. Androgens acts on the central neural system and influence the male second sexual behavior called libido. What is libido? The sexual urge in male is called libido. It is also done by testosterone. These hormones produce anabolic, that is synthetic effects on protein and carbohydrate metabolism. So a male to have a muscular growth कब होगा? When there is a protein metabolism in the body. So protein or carbohydrate metabolism में भी testosterone has got a role. Yes, my dear students, that's all about testis. We can go in depth of it because those informations हम पढ़ेंगे in the topic human reproduction, जहाँ पे हम male reproductive system के बारे में और भी depth में जाएंगे. There are different other informations which are needed, but not now because this is about endocrine glands. Yes, my dear students. Again to repeat, start repeating the topics that you have already studied. कल जो टॉपिक पढ़ लिया आप वो आज आप थोड़ा देख लो. जब आप परसों देखोगे उसको तो तब क्या लगेगा? अब समय बहुत कम लगेगा उसको देखने के लिए. Fine. So repetition is the key. Again to repeat the term repetition. जितना रिपीट करोगे उतना लाइफ में आगे बढ़ोगे. That's the key for success. All the very best. Wait for the next video.